Made. Oh, there it is. 5, 4.
Wait, back to 6,
2,
8, 21.
1. Hike. Is that it?
I don't
Say
think
play
so.
football.
I don't think that worked.
But we had a countdown. How could it not work?
We had a countdown. Yeah, we're live on YouTube right now.
Oh, are we live? Oh yeah, look at that. We are.
Yeah.
Hi, YouTube.
I don't know how that happened. I didn't actually change anything.
It's CJ's fault.
Oh.
I didn't actually change anything.
Oh, well, there you go.
Which makes it even weirder.
Yeah, hey, it worked. It worked.
I guess.
But apparently, Greg. So Joss Whedon did, from what I understand, the bulk of that Justice League movie. And now, well, of course it was terrible. It was terrible. And the fans have been demanding the Snyder cut because they think
they can be disappointed all over again.
Well, these people liked Man of Steel, and these people liked Batman v Superman. So they want that vision carried through. Yeah.
Vision's Marvel.
Are you sure?
Even I know that.
Okay. Well, I haven't watched the show. I don't know. Maybe there's some crazy crossover. But now now what's his name? Zack Snyder came in and apparently reshot a bunch of stuff. I don't know how accurate that is, but it sounds like there were some reshoots, and now he's making his shitty vision of the shitty movie. So, I mean, it's gonna be. Of course, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be awful. I watched the Justice League movie, and I would be interested in watching the Zack Snyder version to see what is different. But I don't remember anything.
YouTube video telling me what was different.
I don't remember anything that happened in the original cut.
No, that's just
Justice League.
I don't want to go back and watch it.
I could watch the Zack Snyder cut, and it could be the exact same movie, or it can be completely comprised of new scenes, and I would have no idea.
Right.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
the YouTube's working. The rest aren't.
Yeah.
We're trying
What
out
are the rest? The rest
Twitch and Twitter.
Do we care?
Yeah, I don't know that we care really.
Wait, are we
recording?
We
are recording.
Do we have a show?
Are good. We have a show.
Okay, so Greg and I do not need to record anything.
So what we're saying is Phil and I have done everything right so far.
That's right.
Typical.
Just another week on the Player One podcast.
Another week. Hello and welcome to episode 745 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me as always from Canada, Mr. Greg Stewart.
I'm sorry, I just noticed in the top right of the screen, the recordings look and sound much better than what you see live, and I feel like I'm not sure how to take that. I'm a little excited about it, to be honest.
It's going to be better.
Like, is it going to, am I going to lose 50 pounds in the transfer here?
I think so.
Really?
Gonna add a little something up top there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, bald is beautiful now. So
really?
That's what I tell myself.
You know Patrick Stewart.
I'm not talking about my head.
Pics, please.
Hey, CJ.
What's up?
If you know where to look, you'll find him, Phil. Hi. Thanks for welcoming me.
We're trying a new way of recording the podcast, so there may be technical difficulties. Who knows?
Oh, there will be.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about this. This is the new era, maybe. Who knows? Or back to the old era.
That's a dramatic description.
I think. Yeah, joining me from snow-covered Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
It is chilly out there today.
A lot of snow.
That is no problem for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think of a snowflakes joke, but I don't want to get too political.
There you
on
go.
Our video game podcast. It's all, we want to keep it about the games, man.
That's right.
How you guys got a lot of snow up there, CJ?
Yes. It snowed even most of the day today.
It did, right?
Yeah, crazy.
Although
lots of snow.
Supposedly, sounds like it's gonna heat up enough that it's gonna turn to rain
tomorrow.
Yes, and
Yeah,
thus
like soon.
all this snow will be no mo.
Yeah.
We could get that here.
But my
600
daughter very excited about the snow.
Yeah.
Went outside and then promptly lost her glove, like her gloves. She lost a glove.
like a true
Yeah.
child in winter.
So before she could even make one snowball to throw
Ah.
at me,
Yeah.
To be fair, it's easier to make a good snowball without gloves on.
That is true.
that's true. You got to melt a little bit
And a
of
little
it.
Get
Yeah.
a little body heat melted a little.
Yeah. Well, she
Yeah,
doesn't like
yeah.
any of the snow touching her like skin at all.
Wow.
Sweet
So
summer child.
would you say she's a snowflake?
There you go. There you go.
Nah. Nah.
Some snow got in her boots, and she was like, "All right, I can go in now."
Oh man.
Oh,
Go
so
inside.
she's in her mid-40s then.
That's right.
Whereas I had to yell at Finn to
Put some pants on.
We'll put shoes on, certainly.
That's a
Put
start.
some socks on. We need socks and shoes.
This is frozen
Yeah.
water we're dealing with.
Maybe a shirt. As he's running out onto the porch, like, oh, I'm playing in the snow. He couldn't wait.
Yeah.
So snow is not a normal occurrence there?
It's atypical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the city
Prepared for snow?
For snow removal?
Better than Atlanta, but not as good
No,
as
then.
Chicago. Let's just
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
No, just I know that's that was the thing. Like when I moved to North Carolina in the early
Yeah.
2000s, the whole city shut down for a dusting
Right.
of snow.
Oh, wow.
Which at
Yeah.
the time I'm looking at it going, oh my god, stupid. North Carolinians. It's just a little bit of snow, and then thinking, wait a minute,
They don't have
there's no
anything to deal
salt,
with it.
there's no sand,
Right.
there's no snow removal. Of
Yeah.
course, they
I
shut
did
down.
have trouble buying cat litter on Friday because people.
What does that have to do with snow?
They were going to put it out, I guess, to
Oh,
help with traction. They didn't
Yeah,
get
sure.
salt.
Snow attracts a lot of feral cats around
doing-
here, so if
in,
we don't want to be wading
right.
through cat poo, you got to put out the litter.
in Atlanta, did they just put down like Coke
Sand.
syrup?
Sand.
Okay.
It was
You
sand.
laugh, but that's actually a thing.
Putting down Coke syrup?
Yes, some
Wouldn't
form
that-
of it.
Wouldn't that just be like, we're making slushies in the road now? Delicious.
It's the Great Molasses Flood all over again.
Oh, man.
See? Your one-stop shop for American history. Player One.
We're thinking of you, Boston. We're always thinking of you
That's
and your
right.
great molasses flood.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Cold.
We went out. We built a snowman.
Did you really? All right.
We did. If you go to my Twitter account
Uh-huh.
at whimsical Phil,
And you could see it.
y'all can see a picture of the snowman. Yeah.
Did you give him a name, or did Finn give him a name? Just a snowman.
No.
No
You don't want to get
name?
attached.
No,
You don't want to get
that's when they
attached
come
to him.
life.
They become sentient and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't. Happy birthday.
that's the one.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was too late. Frosty had already melted away.
Wow.
That's some funny stuff.
Messy, messy, messy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rankin Bass, Frosty the Snowman special, y'all.
Yeah.
Give it a watch.
It's good. Should we get into video game news? Why not, right?
Sure.
Why
I
not?
don't
That's why
know.
we're here. So we got some casting news on the Last of Us television program that is being developed
the Schneider cut.
for
We live in a
HBO.
society,
Totally sounds like
Batman.
the Shatner cut.
The Shatner cut.
You know, Ellie, we are the Last of Us. It's getting a little Goldblum in my
Yeah, just
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
a little peanut butter in your chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pedro Pascal is going to be Joel, and
Libtard.
The Mandalorian himself.
Bella Ramsey from Game of Thrones is going to be Ellie.
So basically, as long as you're in Game of Thrones, you're in something
Yes.
now. Is that,
You're in
is that how it
something.
works?
you,
Yeah.
yeah, you have work.
Yeah, he was in. Yeah, he
Not
was in.
against that.
He was
Yeah,
in
he was
Game
in
of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones,
For,
yeah.
yeah, he got his eyes switched
Yeah,
out, right?
Spoiler, hello. I didn't watch it.
Whatever. Oh, hey, spoiler alert.
CJ didn't watch it, so
Yeah.
you know.
You got to watch that.
Here's a big old spoiler alert. There's a character on Game of Thrones who dies.
Gruesomely.
Yeah, I never would have expected that.
That's weird.
That's so
After he was naked.
strange.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. So what do you guys think of this news, and what do you want to see out of a Last of Us TV program?
Quality entertainment.
Other than quality, like, do you want it to follow the plot line of the game, or do you want it to go in a different direction? Like, what are you sort of expecting or hoping to see?
I don't know if you're gonna have Joel and Ellie in the story. It doesn't kind of have to follow the plot line of the game in some form, like loosely at least.
Maybe loosely,
I mean,
sure.
there's a lot of time that you could fill in from the game.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, this could be the start of the clicker verse. Where there's different versions of Joel and Ellie. There could be like an anime version of them.
I get it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like
Some
this.
sort of multiverse of madness,
Okay.
That's a good name. That's a good name.
if you will.
Oh.
You bet it is. It's the
So
finest
fitting.
ma-
It's amazing.
Of course, it doesn't. How could it not work? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean,
Maybe the
It's
further
like-
adventures after the end of the first game, like they go around solving crimes,
maybe
like
it's
Batman and
everything
Robin.
everything that happened just off screen.
Well, I mean, they'd have to start it because, of course, people watching the show may not have any familiarity with the games, right? They'd have to start
yeah.
it sort of like where The Last of Us 1 starts. I wonder if they would. Here's what I'm asking. No, stop.
What would that look like?
In the time between where Joel loses his daughter and then meets Ellie, are we going to get some extra color there of Joel's life? Like, is Ellie going to be a character that we meet in the first episode, or is she going to be a character we meet in like episode 3, 4, 5, or like the final episode of season 1?
It'd be weird to meet her in episode 3, 4,
It's
and
weird
5.
to call out her casting now if she might be in the final episode of the first season.
You're right.
That feels strange to me.
You're right.
I'm just the way you were phrasing that earlier. I was just imagining the first episode starting with Joel and Ellie running from a bloater or something, and then there's like a record scratch and the
You
and
might
the
be
scene
wondering
freezes.
how we got here.
Yep, that's me, all right. Running from another one of these bloated freaks. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation. Well,
And they show a bunch of CG cutscenes from the Last of Us
Yeah.
games to catch you up.
Yeah.
Some Blink 182 starts playing, and
and that brings it up to where we are now. Let's see how me and Ellie get out of this fix. And they have a sass talking giraffe sidekick.
Oh, well, that's a definite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
That has to
Necky.
happen. Who?
it's not really. That's a
Necky?
pretty
Necky.
safe prediction.
Necky. The giraffe. Because giraffes, they just have an elongated neck.
Oh, I was not aware of that, Phil. Thank you.
It's true. It's true.
Thank you very much. Anyway, so I assume they're going to start shooting soon, and we should see this on HBO at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so E3 is apparently coming back? Question mark in
Really?
2021 with an all digital event. They are planning for an all digital event this summer.
Okay.
So it still requires, well, the one component they don't necessarily have yet is the backing
Video
of
games.
the backing of big companies to attend this digital event. But they are
it still
trying
requires all game press to give the E3 management their home addresses, phone numbers, and social security numbers.
so they can get leaked later. Yeah.
Well, let's not.
Yeah.
Thanks, CJ.
It's
No
true,
problem.
but
I
you
gotta
shouldn't say
explain
it.
the joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
So June 2021, gonna have live streamed coverage of their own event. What do you think? Do you think E3 can come back as a digital event without Jeff Keighley hosting it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you want to see
What
out of
does
a?
Jeff Keighley hosting it have to do with anything?
I don't know. What do you want to see out of a digital E3? What are you hoping for?
I think they should certainly recap the events of the first Last of Us game. Maybe go into some of the side stuff of like what Joel and Ellie are doing
Yeah.
after.
So
You know?
they'll show their social media feeds as well.
Yes.
Like diary
Yes.
entries or something. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Have it go real transmedia. Yeah.
Ellie
Perfect.
Ellie posting her her Instagram
Yeah.
account. Yeah. That's the narrative frame. It's the framing device.
I don't know. I mean, like the same, just more like Nintendo Directs and
Yeah.
I just
It-
want to see new games, a bunch of new games.
it-
That's all I care about. I
It
don't
would
care
be
how they do it.
nice whether it's the ESRB who's doing it or IGN who's doing it, like somebody have a centralized like week-long event where we don't have like companies overlapping each other and we can get excited about video games again. I'd be all for that.
But I think that begs a question though. What does E3 bring to the table here? With an online event where
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a trade show.
The people who
Yeah.
are bringing the stuff to the event are the publishers and the hardware manufacturers, right?
Right, which a lot of them
Yeah.
are doing that stuff themselves anyway.
Yeah.
So
The benefit is just coming together at the same time and
being the event itself.
trying to get everybody on board with
suppose.
one event.
One could say you could also call that competing with one another for
Yeah. Oh yeah.
attention.
That is also true.
I'm saying I would say that. I'm just saying one could say
One could say that. Yes.
that if one were so inclined.
Well, they have to get the buy-in from publishers first before this all digital event actually happens. So we'll see. We'll see.
But I'm excited because they said they're going to get influencers involved. So, man, I'm not even going to have to wait for the hot takes. They're just going to be part of the show. Sign me up.
That's right.
Uh,
That's right. So we're getting some new Super Nintendo and NES games on Nintendo Switch Online this week.
Yeah, like 2 days.
This week,
3 days from now.
this week.
we're getting Fire and Ice, which apparently
Supposed to be a good game.
is a sequel to Solomon's Key. I did not know that.
Was that right?
Apparently so. Prehistoric Man, which is a very late era SNES
Very-
game.
Beloved game from
Is it-
Game Fan.
Game fan and
Is it really?
EGM.
Did they love that?
It was Game of the
Man.
Month in EGM. The month it
Well, that's
came
what
out.
Ray. That's
Is it-
true. Yeah.
'Cause it's a like caveman
Platformer.
platformer, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like all great games. Chuck Ross, Joe and Mac,
Joe and Mac, the two Joe and Mac games.
Rock 2.
Yeah, there were two Joe Mac. Yeah, there were two
Joe and Mac
Chuck Rock
2.
games.
Yeah.
Not counting Chuck Rock Kart.
Yeah.
BC Racers.
Racers. Yeah.
Oh, there was
Platformer.
was
Yeah.
prehistoric Olympics or caveman Olympics?
Caveman
There's
Olympics.
Caveman Olympics.
Yeah.
Was there a game called Prehistoric or something like that?
That's a movie.
Probably.
There's a movie called Prehistoric.
Is
One of
there?
those like
were a
asylum
lot of-
releases.
You know, man.
Came
Oh,
out
really?
around the time of Jurassic Park.
It was Billy and the Clonosaurus. Hey, it's like there were a lot of caveman games back in the 90s.
Yeah, there
One
were.
of the games.
Yeah.
We're getting Doomsday Warrior,
BC Quest for Tires.
one of those.
BC's Quest for Tires. BC's Quest for Tires 2. Grog's Revenge.
I see.
I'm not making that one up.
Who's excited for Doomsday Warrior?
I kind of want BC's
Excited?
Quest for Tires 1 and 2.
I have never played any of these games.
No,
by
and
the
then
way. Not the
Psycho
BC
Dream.
I played that, but the ones we're
Psycho
talking
Dream
about.
never came out
Psycho
here,
Dream
right?
never came out here. It was, however, reviewed in EGM and GamePro.
So
As-
presumably it almost came out here?
Dream Probe.
Dream
Yeah.
Probe.
Apparently around that time, Renovation had some like internal issues and closed down. Apparently,
Renovation was bought by Sega.
though the ROMs were like through approval and everything. So yeah, that's how we're able to
Oh,
play
wow.
Psycho
Yeah, well,
Dream.
Renovation only ever released one game on the Super Nintendo, and then Sega bought the label.
What was it?
Valis 4, I think.
Oh yeah, I
Oh.
guess that makes sense.
There you are.
I did not
be
I
wrong
was not
about
sure
that.
if they I was not sure if they released Valis Super Valis 4.
Which, by the way, I
themselves.
played a little bit of this week. Boy, that game's bad.
Man, the Valis games I have such affection for them, but they're not good.
No,
No.
they're okay. The first
So-
few are okay.
Yeah.
Looking at
Anyway,
this
sorry.
lineup, how are we feeling about this update?
By the way, it wasn't Valis 4. It was Doomsday Warrior.
What's Doomsday Warrior?
No,
The one game they released?
Yeah, no, hang on a sec. I'm figuring this out.
What is happening
I
here?
don't know. Doomsday
I'm
Warrior
pretty
is
sure
the
it's
other
all
game
wrong.
He
that's
stopped using Zoom, and now I don't understand what this show is.
Doomsday Warrior is
This
the
is very
other
confusing.
game.
Doomsday Warrior. Yeah.
It's a Street Fighter 2 clone.
Oh, is it really?
Bad
Hmm.
one-on-one fighting game. Yeah.
No.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, wondering what you
Is Psycho Dream
think
supposed to be good?
this update. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Sorry, I'm going to back us up again. Yes, Renovation published Doomsday Warrior.
Oh, they did.
On the
Okay.
Super Nintendo. And that was it. That was the only game they released on
Okay.
and then Sega bought the
Okay.
label.
Okay, so we get
Huh.
2 renovation.
I knew I
games
was almost right.
Okay.
this month. Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
I love how anytime we get an update, Nintendo Switch Online games, it's immediately met with hate. Nobody bothers, especially if the people commenting on it have never played the games that are on there.
You know why it's
Ah,
immediately
yes.
met with hate?
Why?
Because Nintendo's still drip feeding.
You're feeding the classics.
They're not classics. They're not drip feeding any of the classics. What? Got 2 systems with 2 of the greatest libraries in the history of the industry,
Yeah.
and we're getting Doomsday Warrior.
What
Well,
what classics are left? Let me ask you that.
To me, it's a lot of Square games, which we're probably never going to get because Square was going to want to
Yeah,
release
that's-
those games on their own.
Yeah, Square's not going to let that happen, likely.
And that's it. Super Mario
You're
RPG.
telling me that all the greatest Super Nintendo games are out there now. And
Name-
I'm just saying.
Name one that's
I don't
not
know
on
what
it.
classics is. I'm not even familiar
Yeah.
with what the whole library is. I'm
Is
not.
Mario RPG on there?
not.
I mean, that's
No.
that's Square.
Square.
That's Square probably holding that up,
I'm
right?
not
Yeah.
saying I don't want stuff like Doomsday Warrior released.
Earthbound's not
because
on there
I,
either.
I personally would like to see the
Oh,
entire
Earthbound's not
library
on there,
released.
huh?
But it's
Okay.
like drip feeding a couple of games
Yeah.
a month when you're going to make them very oddball titles.
Right.
Just get the library out there.
Not even once
they-
a month. It's like once a quarter now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But I mean,
Okay.
the lineup it has a lot of good games already. I'm not like
I'm not
I go
disputing
in
that.
there. There's a lot of stuff worth playing.
So is Earthbound the one SNES game though that is missing that is realistically going to end up on the service?
We still don't have
Probably
Urban Champion.
What's that?
We still don't have Urban Champion.
champion.
And they're giving us garbage like Fire and Ice, and we
Right?
don't have Urban Champion.
Right.
You remember the bet we made it when they were first rolling out this that Urban Champion was going to be one of the first. Now you're complaining that it's not on there.
It's a joke, but
I don't think he was being serious,
I know.
CJ.
I know.
I think he was being
I'm just saying.
facetious.
I'm just saying that this process has sucked since Virtual Console.
Yeah.
But Virtual Console had the advantage of having
No, the NES
more
had
than
the
2
advantage.
consoles. Yeah, more than 2 consoles
Super Nintendo had
in the
Super
library, and they were
It
releasing
really
games
did.
at a more at a greater clip.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now you're getting like 4 or 5 drops a year
Yeah.
of 2 games of the
Right.
sort of notoriety and caliber of Doomsday Warrior.
I think-
and Super
right.
Valus 4. You know, it's like, come on.
But again, what are they missing? Other than
Earthbound.
the,
But
Earthbound?
900
Super
other
Mario
games.
RPG.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a lot of good stuff on there.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Here's your influencer hot take. There's like a dozen good Super Nintendo games.
Wow.
Yeah.
And all of those
Yeah.
are on the NES or
yeah.
SNES.
And if you
library.
wanted good games, you bought a Genesis.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
That's a
Wow.
lie. That's an absolute lie. I love the Genesis. I absolutely adore the Genesis. The lie was not.
NES and Super Nintendo, 2 consoles with 2 of the greatest
Yeah.
libraries in the history of the industry.
You're not
And
wrong.
it just irritates me that we're drip fed 8 games a year on each
Right.
platform on the
Right.
Switch. Because
Okay.
the Switch ain't going to be around all that much longer before they move to something new, and they'll reset the whole thing again.
Probably.
And it's just annoying as hell. That's all I'm saying.
What do you need? What do you need on this?
Yeah,
thing?
what-
what
need
can't you
it
play
all.
now?
You need Dennis the Menace.
Yes.
You need
I
Baseball
want Wayne's
2000.
World. I want Wayne's World.
You need Wayne's World. Yeah.
Baseball
Yeah,
2000.
Home
Okay.
Alone. I need Home Alone.
Page Master.
Peach Master. Yes.
Yep. Get the whole Macaulay Culkin
Radio Flyer.
library. Radio Flyer.
Yep.
That was never released, right?
No, it wasn't.
Socks the Cat.
No. Socks the Cat rocks the hill.
I want the Chester
Also-
Cheetah games.
Also never released. Which Chester Cheetah game? There were 2.
Too Cool to Fool.
Too Cool to Fool. and the other one, which was of
Whatever
course,
this one was.
yeah.
I'm looking.
Zombie
They
Save
should,
My Neighbors.
they should do
There you
Mario
go.
and
I want
Wario.
Zombie Save My Neighbors. I want.
Oh, is zombie
Sparkster.
ate my neighbors not on there?
No,
Okay, zombie ate my neighbors is good.
They
I
should
want
put that on.
Sparkster.
Is
No, you
Sparkster
don't.
not on
I
there?
still want it on there.
No, you don't.
Is Sparkster not on there?
Sparkster's
I
not
don't
on
think
there.
so.
No.
Sparkster's good. They got to get Sparkster on there.
Tiny Toons. I want the Tiny Toons.
Tiny
game.
Tiny Toons isn't going to be on there
I
because
know that,
of
but I still want them.
licensing.
Yeah.
But man, that Tiny Toons game. Did you ever play that Tiny Toons game?
Yeah.
Tiny Toon Adventures
Buster
Buster
Busts Loose.
Busts Loose.
Was that?
That's a
did you
good
play
game.
the Tiny Toons game or Animaniacs on your stream there?
Yeah, I played both, and the Animaniacs game was infuriating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember not liking
Oh,
the
it was.
Animaniac game.
You know what? I was going to say it was bad. No, it's not bad. It's
Yeah?
too difficult. If they had
Oh,
made
really?
it a little more fair, there was actually a good game underneath all that.
Years ago,
Mega Man X. There you go. The Mega Man X series.
the X games are not on there?
See, you don't even know, and that's the problem. Nobody
Don't even
cares
know.
about these because they're drip
Cares.
feeding crappy games that nobody wants.
But they're free
You
with
know what?
your NSO subscription.
You know what? I have like 20 other versions of Mega Man X.
Yeah,
You
I can
do.
play.
I do.
This service is clearly not meant for
Hey,
people like
you know what?
you.
I have it on the Switch too. I got my Mega Man X collection on my Switch.
That's why it's not
So
on it.
Yeah,
I know.
probably.
I get it, but I'm just saying.
at CES, back when CES,
Chaos in the Windy
Was-
City.
no, it stands for Consumer
Oh, okay.
Electronics Show.
Right. But it was in the Windy City.
Was
It was in the winter. The winter one was. No,
Summer.
the summer one was. The summer one was.
You wouldn't
Uh,
want the winter one in Chicago.
Vegas.
Chaos. No, you wouldn't. Chaos in the Windy City. Amy Henning's first game.
Hennig.
Hennig?
Pretty sure it's Henning.
Pretty sure you're wrong. She's Mr.
Go to
Perfect's sister.
Huh?
What?
What? Who? What?
Anyway, let's move on to something that
At CES,
we can all agree on.
years ago,
That also happens in June.
Konami announced that they were doing a Pinky and the Brain game for the
Ooh.
Super Nintendo
Yeah.
that was never released.
Maybe we'll see that on NSO.
I mean,
That might have been the same.
yeah.
That might have been the same year I played Akira on Genesis.
Maybe.
Also never released.
Did you play the Sequest DSV game, THQ's booth, and then
I remember
also
thinking,
have
never did
Ted
that.
Raimi sign up headshot for you?
What?
you missed that?
You have a headshot of Ted Raimi?
I might somewhere. I might have it. Yeah, I
Really?
might still have it. But yeah, it was THQ was doing the Sequest DSV game at the same time, I think, as the Akira game.
Right.
And one of the things at their booth, like, because
Was Ted Raimi?
he was there like for an hour or two with another cast member, and they were signing headshots. And I gotta
Was Ted Raimi in that show?
yes,
I've never I've never
Ted
seen
Raimi is in
Sequest.
No, me
Sequest.
neither.
CSV. I know that what's his name? The kid who sadly committed suicide.
Wesley Crusher.
No.
Oh.
No, he's alive.
I don't know.
What's his name? Jonathan Landis? No, not Jonathan Landis.
I don't know.
What's the kid's name?
I don't know.
Why?
Look it up.
Why would we know?
Why would we know that?
DSV. He was a
I mean, sure, I know that Ted Raimi was in it.
Jonathan
Great.
Brandis.
Oh,
There we go.
Jonathan Brandis.
Uh-huh.
Yes. He was the young star of that show.
Okay.
But yeah, I've never seen
Sequest DSV. It's streaming somewhere.
No,
I'm sure.
no. John Landis.
probably in reverse on YouTube.
Yes.
John Landis kills other actors.
Yes. In the Twilight
The
Zone. movie.
Twilight Zone.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something happening in June that
Yeah.
we can all agree is going to be great. Ratchet and Clank. Rift
Ratchet and
Apart.
Clank. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
coming
I should
out-
play that PlayStation 4 game sometime soon.
Coming out on PlayStation 5 June 11th.
I pre-ordered it.
Me too. Digital.
Yeah.
Me not.
Yes.
I
But I'm
did.
getting it.
I did not pre-order the digital deluxe version. I just pre-ordered the regular standard digital game
Because you're not a sucker.
because I'm not a sucker. Well, so the digital deluxe version comes with like 20 of the whatever weapon power up things that you get. So you get a head start on powering up all the weapons. It comes with like 5 different outfits, but they don't clarify whether you can get those in game, like whether it's like an early start thing or whether those are exclusive to the digital version. And then it has like things like the digital art book and digital soundtrack, which only will play on the PS5, and I never use those anyway, so forget that. So yeah, pre-ordered only the standard version, which comes with like a piece of armor from the original game, or at least maybe from Deadlocked, and then comes with the pixelizer weapon, which is an early unlock.
Yeah.
So
Very nice.
Very excited about Rift Apart. We have to wait till June to get it, but that's all right as long as it doesn't get pushed back farther than that. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Look good. That means that like Horizon and God of War really have no chance of making it out this year, right? Since we didn't see gameplay from those yet.
I kind of assumed God of War wasn't going to be this year anyway.
Yeah, I assumed that as well.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right, so let's get into what you've been playing. That time again. And I'll start us off.
And here we are.
Here we are in Delaware.
Yet again.
We did it.
We did it. So I've been playing Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Equals fun.
Equals amazing.
Explain to me
That was for Jeff.
what Bowser's Fury is all about.
Well, Phil finished
Bowser's
it,
Fury.
apparently.
I did finish.
I didn't finish
well, I
it, but
finished.
I did the first.
I rolled credits. So okay, Bowser's Fury. I knew nothing about Bowser's Fury going into this. Okay, I had been Nintendo, they were kind of.
Well, they did an explainer video about a month ago.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not watch that because I wanted to just dive right in and experience it firsthand. So Bowser's Fury is a brief game. I finished. I rolled the credits. Let's say 3, maybe 4 hours.
Okay.
From what I understand, it's maybe about another 3 hours post game to pick up the rest of the shines and explore the world. It is it's an open world kind of game. You are in a vast ocean arena. I mean, it's not like Breath of the Wild vast, but you're in a big open sea environment, and scattered throughout the sea are various islands.
Yeah.
And each of these islands has 5 cat shines.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like the shines. And you are, as you progress through the game, more of the islands open up because your progress is hindered by kind of black ooze.
Like in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yes. What?
I don't know. Keep going.
So you can't go everywhere at once because there's
What?
I'm listening.
What's going on?
Hold on. The hell is going on?
I don't
What
know.
am I hearing?
I don't know what you're hearing. Did you unmute the stream or something?
No, I am hearing. Hold on a second.
You have a web tab that has started playing music.
No, I'm
Forgot to
hearing.
close RedTube.
I'm hearing something. I was hearing noise through my headphones, like someone talking.
Yeah.
And I have no idea where it's coming from because I have no other windows open.
Okay. What are they saying?
This is
What
fascinating.
What
This
the
is
hell
riveting.
is happening?
Is this like some really
No, this
weird
is not a bit.
Like-
I am
way to describe
no, I
or
this new thing CJ has us doing
Mhm.
is screwing something up. I was
don't think so.
hearing. Yeah, there was like a video file or something playing, but I have no idea where the sound was coming. Now it's gone. So, okay, let's see what happens. I don't know if it's this new Riverside FM you have us going on.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
I don't know.
Coming through your
But
microphone.
you guys weren't here.
I'm just
you guys
hearing
weren't
you.
hearing anything?
No.
That's weird. I was getting sound coming through my headset. That is bizarre.
Okay.
Well, whatever the case is. So your progress is hindered because of this black ooze that is blocking off chunks of the ocean. And as you progress, the ooze gets cleared away, and you have more of the ocean to explore.
Yeah.
So, and it plays out like you go to one of the islands, and it plays out like all the other recent 3D Mario games. You got to get the shines, and the gimmick is, the premise of the game, and this is weird. And CJ, tell me if you find this weird too. So the Mario games, in recent years, they've gone perhaps a little overboard with the setup, with the explanation, with the plot.
Yeah.
It's like I don't need a whole lot of plot explanation in a Mario game. Bowser's done something. You got to collect shines.
The end.
To stop him.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
But this one starts up, and it explains nothing about what's going on. It just kind of dumps you into this ocean world.
Yep.
And you have Bowser Jr. shows up, and he's just like, "Oh, I need your help. My dad is angry or something." But it's like they don't there's no real explanation of like what's happening, because
No.
Bowser he's giant kaiju size. You know, he's Fury Bowser. Is that what he's called?
Yeah.
So he is this giant hulking Godzilla type creature, and he is constantly like lurking in the background. Like you can look off into the distance and you can see his giant spiked turtle shell.
The shell.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. It's very cool. And then every 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes maybe,
5, 10.
he will the shell will slowly rise out of the
Well, it'll start
ocean.
raining first of all.
Yeah, it'll start
Get
raining.
dark.
You'll see the shell rising up out of the sky, and then boom, Bowser shows up, and he's this massive giant Godzilla monster, and he's breathing fire at you that just wipes out everything.
But also the enemies
Giant-
change, and yeah.
Giant flaming rocks fall out of the sky that form new platforms that you can climb on.
Mhm.
And it's just it's chaos.
Unless
And the only way-
I mean, there's two things you can do. You can collect a shine, which makes them go away.
scares them
Or
off.
if you have collected a certain number of shines, you can collect the Gigabell and become a large cat Mario to then fight Bowser.
Yes.
Okay, so it's basically one gigantic level
Yeah.
Yes.
where there are a bunch of shines,
Yes.
Yes.
and
There's-
you kind of have a sporadic time limit / you got to deal with this at every certain
Yeah,
period.
exactly.
But there are some areas of the level that you can only access while Bowser is on his sort of fury state.
Right.
Like there are
Okay.
blocks that can only be destroyed by Bowser's flames.
That's
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really weird, and like I said, it's a departure of sorts, because you have this kind of constant threat of Fury Bowser attacking you.
Yeah.
And they don't explain it at all.
No, they
really
don't.
kind of leave you to figure it out. And like when I first played it, I was like, this is insane. I have no idea what's happening.
And if I clear out an entire area, like if I 5 shine everything, is he just going to stop showing up when I'm in that area?
Right. And no, he doesn't.
No,
No.
he does not.
But once I kind of got a handle on the gameplay, I loved it.
Yeah.
I really, I'm having a blast with it, and it really feels like, is Greg still here? There he is.
He's
I
here.
wasn't sure if he would just shut off his camera,
He did.
but it feels like this is Nintendo experimenting with something that this could be a direction they take the Mario series in later.
It's certainly like
Yes,
a different play style.
That's
Yeah.
why I was asking, because, and that's, I watched that. I didn't watch that explanation video and pay too close attention. I watched sort of the trailers and stuff like that, and that was basically the feeling I got. What you just described was basically the feeling I got from it. But yeah, like hearing that it's a fairly small piece of game.
Yeah.
I was I want to play it, but I couldn't bring myself to pay full price for Mario 3D World again.
Right.
But luckily, my son bought a Switch a couple weeks ago, and he ordered this game. So,
good.
Perfect.
I'll get to play this now. So
Yeah,
he's really
it's-
excited to buy a new
it's-
Mario game for his Switch.
It's great. I really enjoy it. And yeah, it
is.
does feel like Nintendo saying, we kind of want to make open world Mario, but we're not really 100%
But
sure if it's going to
here's
work.
here's the question that I have. Like, so they've made this
Uh-huh.
sort of open world game, and it's 3 to 6 hours long. Do you want one
Right.
that is 12 to 15 hours? Like, as the sort of playtime
Would it
goes
work?
up, like,
Right.
is the gimmick going to wear thin, or
Well,
could they
I
mix
think
it
they
up
could
in
do
more ways than just what they have here?
Yeah, I think they could easily do a lot more with it.
Yeah.
You know, the structure of this, like the action being confined to one, you know, chunk of ocean,
Yeah.
that could very easily be spread out to, like,
That's
you know,
true.
oh, you eventually find some land, and there's different, you know, there's a now you're in a desert, and now you're in like a volcano or something like that.
Yeah. Well,
know,
and
they
there
could
are sort of
easily-
discrete like areas, like each island area has its own theme. And if you
Right.
happen to swim from one area to the other, it'll like switch. It'll tell you which area you're in and how many cat
Right.
shines you've gotten and whatnot. And everything
Yeah.
is sort of interconnected by Plessy, who's in 3D World, the little
Yeah.
Watersaurus.
Sea dino.
the sea dino.
Watersaurus.
that you hop on and go for a ride. Everything's sort of connected with Plessy, and there are little like challenges in between each area and things like that. It's neat.
It's cool. Yeah, there's little mini islands scattered around where maybe you'll just find oh, here's a little place where there's a random shine here
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And the sections do seem to change a little bit depending on which shines you've already gotten, like in terms of what enemies are on that area. It kind of shifts around as you're playing, which is cool.
How many shines do you have, CJ?
20 currently.
Oh, geez. Ooh, get on my level.
Oh, you have 50. You have 50.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna
50.
I'm gonna drop a little spoiler. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. I mean, it's technically a spoiler, but it's not like anything too crazy. Once you get 50 shines, you are forced into the end game scenario.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you get 50 shines, that's when you roll credits, and then you get to come back into the world and here's everything, and go search for the other 50 shines.
I was going to try to clear everything out in the first world before going to the next one. And I did like complete an area entirely and get one of the lighthouses totally complete.
Right.
But then I was like, well, I'll continue on in case are things that I can learn later that I might need for this area or whatever.
Right.
Because there were a few like cat symbols or cat tokens that I hadn't gotten in the first area, and I looked all around and couldn't see where those were yet. So I figured I'll come back to this.
Yeah, every one of the little islands you come to, like we were saying, there are 5 cat shines to collect.
Yeah.
Each island has one shine that you get by collecting 5 little kitty head tokens that are scattered around. They also have one that's typically hidden behind some blocks.
Yep.
That you need Bowser's giant flame to break open.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of lure him into destroying that for you when he attacks.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It can be a little annoying if like that's the only one you have left.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess I just stand around for 3 or 4 minutes waiting for Bowser to kind of trigger an attack.
Here's the thing I was doing. I was like making a note of where that block was, and then like going and finding some other things, and then the minute
Rushing
he
back.
showed up, running back there. Yeah.
Yeah. Although apparently, if you have a Bowser amiibo,
oh yeah, you can make him.
you can tap it and it'll automatically trigger him
Yeah.
into attacking. Yeah.
I did I ordered the Cat Mario and Cat Peach.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Nice. I did not. Although maybe I should. I don't know what the.
I don't think
I don't
they
know
do
what those
anything
do.
surprising.
They probably give you like a power up or something.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. Something like that.
Yeah, and you can stockpile power ups.
Yeah, and there are no lives in this. You only lose
Yeah,
coins,
which is
which is
that's
great, actually.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no fear of losing everything.
yeah. I think because what is it? If you get 100 coins, do you just earn a? I think you
Power
just
up.
earn a power up, right?
Yeah, you could bank power-ups. You can have 5 of each in your
Yeah.
bank, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
I just got the Tanuki suit
Oh yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit earlier. Love it.
Oh, and Greg, as you play through the game, Bowser Jr. is there in his little clown hover car,
Mhm.
and you can actually you can determine how much he helps you.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause he will fly around. He's like I guess a second player can control him,
Mhm.
but
I was
if
going to
you
ask.
yeah, he will just be an AI character as well. But
Collect stuff for you.
yeah, he'll collect coins, or sometimes he'll go kill an enemy for you,
Okay.
Yeah.
or sometimes you'll find like little spots on the wall that you can point at, have him fly over there, and he'll toss a little graffiti on it and reveal a power up or a secret hidden pipe or something like that.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's
Cool.
really cute.
It
It's-
is.
I really like it.
I like this idea. I mean, Astrobot also was a very focused, short platforming experience as Bowser's Fury is, and I just really
Which I'm all for.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And the battle with Bowser is fun as the
Oh yeah, yeah.
as the huge cat Mario.
Yep.
It's just fun.
It's called
So.
Gigantamaxing.
Gigantamaxing. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Not to mix your series.
Mhm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's what I've been playing. I also played a little bit of Super Mario 3D World with Charlotte. And I think
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before. She's the type of player that just runs through and doesn't want to find everything in a level or whatever.
Right.
But she got very frustrated because in Mario 3D World, at the end of the level, it ranks how many points you got. There's like a first and second place, and she wanted to get first. I'm like, well, you can get first, like if you could slow down and like kill more enemies or get like power ups, like those give you coins and points.
What do you know, Dad?
That you can so it ended up like we played and I would basically like try to hang back and let her destroy some enemies or get some coins to get the crown at the end. So but it's fun. 3D World is a great game.
It is.
I think I want to try to go through it again. It's been long enough.
Yeah, I played
But-
through the first world
Yeah.
of 3D World so
And the
far.
second world
Yeah.
as well. And
It's
apparently
great.
you can play online. And I got an invitation from Ethan and Ford. Apparently they want to play.
Oh.
That could be fun. See how online play in this works. So anyway,
yeah.
that's what I've been playing. So Greg, we'll move on to you.
Hi. Yeah. I finished Sackboy: A Big Adventure, I guess is how you say that title.
Yeah.
Yes, it is in English.
Yeah, I finally finished it this week.
Congratulations.
And so I kind of wish I hadn't played Astrobot before I played this game.
Yeah.
Only because Astrobot was pretty close to perfect.
Right.
And Sackboy's not. And that's not to say Sackboy's not a good game. It's a very good game. But it didn't I was sort of I wanted to keep playing Astrobot constantly. I only ever put it down because I had to.
Yeah.
Whereas with Sackboy, I was sort of I'd play for like an hour. It's like, I'm good. I've had enough of this. And it felt in some stages the difficulty curve felt wildly erratic.
Oh, really?
Because to their credit in the game, you're wandering around to a bunch of different worlds. They're all different themes, and they generally can be just sort of a standard run around a 3D world doing stuff, and then sometimes you'll be riding a platform that's going through a bit of a course that you have to deal with, and sometimes you'll be in forced scrolling levels, that sort of thing. And some of those are great, and some of those are infuriating. And it seems like they kind of jump back and forth between those. And then every now and then you'll jump into a level where all of a sudden you're hearing licensed music playing, and it's really creative the way, it's not along the same lines as something like a Rayman Legends. Is that the one that had those music-based levels?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which were amazing.
Yeah, those are great.
I wouldn't say they're on that level,
Mm-hmm.
but they're quite good, and they're fun, and it's like the whole level's reacting to the music, and the things you're doing are sort of based on the music, and so every now and then you'll pop into those, and I think if you pay attention to the names of the levels you're popping into, you can kind of guess that's what's going to happen. But I never did, because I just there's the next level, I jump in, and then I'm sort of pleasantly surprised that oh wow, I'm listening to David Bowie, and this whole level is kind of based on going through this song, and so that's cool.
Hmm.
But I was kind of glad it was over at the end. Although when you finish the game, it unlocks a whole new world.
Boy, put that on the box cover.
Yeah.
Glad it's finally
No.
over.
And the thing is, too, is that what they did that I really ended up not liking, although I will say that this only reared its head right at the end of the game, is I think there are 5 worlds before you finish the game, and then you unlock a 6th. I want to say that's right. And when you go into a world, at the end of that world, there'll be a black slime, actually. There's an area you can't access. And you need to have X number of dream orbs or whatever they're called, which are these, this is a European platformer, so there's multiple things to collect in every level.
Yeah.
And every level has 3 to 6 of these bright blue glowing orbs that are usually hidden somewhere, right? So you can finish a level and never get any of them. And those are what you need to unlock the final boss in every world. Now, me not looking to get every single one of these, but just doing the levels one by one, and then jumping in and doing some of the, you unlock time trial levels throughout the game too, if you find them. Like, you find the little icons in certain levels that will go to these, they're called Knitted Night trials. And then you can go to the Knitted Night trials. You can go through, and if you get them, like if you earn a bronze award, you get one of these orbs, 2 for silver, 3 for gold, that sort of thing. So I jump in and do some of those every now and then too. And right up until the very final boss, I never ever hit the point where I needed more than I had when I got to the end of a world, right? So it didn't bother me. Then I got to the final boss, and I was ready for the game to be I was like, I'm excited to finish the game. Again, I'm not trying to say I didn't like the game. I was happy that I was at the end of the game. And then I hit it, and it's like, oh, you're 12 orbs short. I was like, well, God damn it. So now I have to go back and do these trials, and, it's like what flow this game had is now been, you've thrown up this random roadblock that I shouldn't have to deal with. I've completed every level, right? Like, why make me go back and find these little hidden things for no reason other than you've decided I need to have them? That sort of design bothers me a lot. So it only took me probably 20 minutes to go get what I needed, but it was 20 minutes I didn't want to spend retreading ground I'd already been over.
Right. Yeah.
Which I just feel that's bad design. So again, I'm over. I know I'm overreacting to it, but it was just like seriously, I just want to finish this. I want to see the final boss. I feel like I've earned it at this point. And yeah, so again, a good game. Somebody in the chat, actually, Mr. Radar, said, "Is it a perfect game for $20?" Yeah, it's a $20 game.
Yeah,
you find the game for $20, you're going to get your $20 worth, especially if you can play multiplayer.
Yeah,
it's fun and it's cute, and it's got some surprisingly good spots to it. But you've got to deal with a fair amount of I don't really like this part.
Luckily,
So,
I don't think it was a full-priced PS5 game.
I don't think it was.
Anyway, I think that's something that Sony, I think, is going to run into a lot this year, in the next year or two, where they release something like Sackboy or Destruction All-Stars or Returnal, and it doesn't feel like a $70 experience. So what do you price it at?
I think it's something that everyone's going to run into a lot.
That's
because
games
are effing expensive now.
Games
and I know
expensive.
If you go back and you look at, yes, games in the 90s were expensive too, whatever. we got used to, in the early 2000s, we got used to $50 games.
Yep.
And, I get why they're more expensive, but they don't feel... I feel the same way, CJ. I run into a lot of games where I don't feel like they should be full-priced games.
Yep.
And yeah,
I mean,
then, of
Returnal
course,
looks
Doug
like
in
it's
our
gonna be
chat
really
is,
fun.
if you're in Canada, you're talking over $100 for a game. So.
Returnal, great example. Looks like it's gonna be really fun. It's a Housemarque game. Housemarque has done like smaller digital experiences up to now. That's a full price $70 PS5 game. I'm just not I'm not chomping at the bit to pre-order that because I'm just not sure how long that'll last, right?
Right, and especially in an ecosystem now where you've got tons of indie games that are super cheap.
Even though, yes, I did pay $60 for a version of a game that I already played through on Wii U, and plus a 3 to 6 hour expansion game.
Anyway, I don't want to sound too down on it, but I really feel like the fact that I played through Astro Boy or Astrobot, which was so close to being just a perfect game.
Absolutely.
It kind of hurt to jump into another platformer so soon after that couldn't hold a candle to it.
Yeah.
So, but it's still a good game. If you find it at a discount price, you will get your money's worth out of it, and you'll probably really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't suggest paying full price for it.
All right. Well,
that's
then,
all I've really been playing, other than racing stuff this week.
Phil,
Yes.
what have you been playing?
I have been playing Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Yeah.
Phil,
Yes.
can you explain how Bowser's Fury works?
Not really. I haven't tried it yet.
No? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
But maybe next week. I'll see what I can do.
Well, I'll have played it by next week, so...
So there's this large
Kids gotta
ocean
go to bed eventually.
with some black goo in it.
Like Ghostbusters.
Kind of like Ghost. If you've ever seen the movie Ghostbusters, you'll remember the trademark black ooze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you thinking of X-Files?
Fight
No,
the future.
I was thinking of
X-Files,
Ghostbusters too. The River of Slime is what I was thinking.
But that was pink.
I know that.
Yeah.
It was pink slime. Anyway, I've been playing a little more Ys 9, which I'm still enjoying. It's quite good. I'm having a lot of fun with Ys 9. And, you know what? I picked up on the Nintendo Switch
Switcheroony.
a game.
What?
That,
It plays games now?
They make those. Yeah.
It's got some games. It's not just Hulu and YouTube. They got some games on there. Undermine just came out.
From the
Undermine.
Incredibles?
Yes. Lego The Incredibles. I've been playing through the game solely as the Underminer. Just for Greg.
I am always beneath you, but nothing is beneath me.
I
love that line.
That is a spot on John Ratzenberger.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's pretty good. No, as Undermine.
Yeah.
That great roguelite game, which it's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, which is where I first played it, play it on Game Pass. But it just came out on Switch, and I wanted to have it on my Switch, so I bought it. I bought a copy on there.
I done bought it.
There you go.
And it's a really good game. I really like it.
It's really good.
I really like it. It's I know I complained about this on the Xbox version. It's not an Xbox problem, it's an Undermine problem where the controls are mapped to the analog stick.
I thought you could change that. Or is it
Well, I
still-
did.
Yeah.
Well, that's the second half of this
Okay.
sentence.
All right.
There's a I'm gonna have a conjunction in there and continue my thought.
Okay.
But luckily, you can change it to map those controls to the digital pad.
Yeah.
So I did that, and now the game controls a lot better. Because why would you want to play that game with analog controls on an
don't
analog?
I agree.
I don't know. No.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Any game like that with analog
Doesn't
controls.
work, man.
Okay.
The only thing worse than that would be playing with those 4 buttons on the Switch controller.
Well, I'm
Those are
using
fine.
a.
Pro
I'm using
controller.
using a pro.
No, I know that.
And I have for when I'm playing in the handheld mode, I have different. I have those hoary
Yeah.
Joy-Con
Family show,
But then
sir.
it
replacements.
doesn't rumble though, right? No rumble. I don't know. I'm like this close to buying a pair of those. And then it's like, oh, it doesn't rumble. Like, oh, do I
Ask
really
me how
want
much
those?
I've missed Rumble.
How much have you missed Rumble, Phil?
Zero much.
Okay.
Not at all. Who cares?
All right.
Oh no, the thing doesn't go bzzz when I.
It's very
Fart or
important that
A
I
lot of people care
experience
about Rumble.
HD Rumble the way that the original developers intended.
Yeah. It's
Very
all about the
important.
art, Phil.
Has any Switch game actually used HD Rumble?
Yeah, Super Mario
A lot
3D
of Switch
World
games you can
plus
see
Bowser's
HD Rumble,
Fury.
haven't they?
Does it actually?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not noticed it.
Okay.
Keep asking. Maybe he'll change his answer.
I've not noticed it. Does it?
It does. Yeah. You'll notice in
What about now,
Bowser's
TJ?
Fury, the game rumbles a little bit when there might be coins underneath you. You do a little butt stomp and find some hidden coins.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never noticed that.
Well,
And I've
it
I
happens.
played that whole game.
Maybe it's because you're playing without Rumble.
Bowser.
Well, no, I'm playing. I played that with the Pro Controller.
Bowser Jr. also points his little paintbrush down to the ground.
Oh, I did not know where you were going with that. My little paintbrush always points
Well,
towards the ground.
Always?
To the left a little bit.
Oh
Ow,
yeah.
ow.
That's where the coins are.
That's
That's all I've been playing.
Got to do a butt stomp to reveal them.
That's all I've been.
That's it.
I know. I know. Last week, I don't know if if we talked about this on the show, or if we discussed this afterwards, but I know you told me to play some Balin's Wonder.
Yes, we
War.
did. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't because
You didn't miss anything.
You didn't.
no, of course I didn't. And here's why.
Why?
I have
terrible.
limited time. To
This is
spend
very
playing
important.
video games.
We know this.
during the week. I have things to. Well, I have a job.
He's a businessman. He has
This
papers
is-
this time.
Ow, right to the. Ow.
This is
Get the arrow out.
this is the thing you forget is some of us have jobs. So I have limited time to play video games, and if
Sure.
I have a new Ease game and a new Mario game sitting here,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put that aside for a couple hours to play
No.
a game that you two said were terrible, and the internet as a whole seems to have agreed is terrible.
Huh.
So I'm sorry, Balin's?
Balin's Wonderworld.
Balin's. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Galen's Wonderwall.
Galen's Underground.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. That means
Yeah.
it's time for tweets.
Jarvis Superstore.
It certainly is.
You gonna do the thing?
Oh yeah, let me think here. Tweedly diddly dee. A twiddly diddly dee tweet. A tweet. A tweet tweet.
Fantastic.
Phil's putting some
Wow.
English on it.
Yeah,
Some
speaking
stank on it.
of Balin Wonderworld,
And when aren't we?
we didn't do this last week, but I want to do this now. Hacker Alias and
Okay.
Sipid Ghost to us.
Is this
about
was the
Balin
reason I was
Wonderworld?
supposed to- This was what prompted you to say, Phil, play this terrible game, right?
Yes, I mean in
Yeah.
part, yeah. But anyway, he said that he wanted to hear us discuss not necessarily a specific game, but what makes a game feel like a Saturn and/or Dreamcast game, and how would you modernize it without sacrificing it? Because of course, when we talked about Balan Wonderworld, we said that it felt like a platformer from 20 years ago, and not the good.
Well, specifically, we said it felt like a Saturn game.
Yeah. We specifically said like it felt
Yeah.
like a very early platformer. So
Yeah, I think more generally, it feels. I would say even a Dreamcast game, actually, but
Really?
it feels like an early 3D game before
Right.
we'd sort of figured out the language of a 3D platformer, especially as far as camera control goes.
yes.
There was just there was something about the well, I mean, because it's Yuji Naka, You know,
Yes.
I mean, it feels like Knights. The character design
You
looks
can
like
do.
Knights.
Here's the thing. I feel like you
I am
can
totally
do a
okay with
game
that.
that has the
Oh, yeah,
character
yeah,
design that looks like Knights,
Yeah.
as
course.
long as the platforming and level design
Right.
are modern. Like I think that's the answer. I think that, art style. You can make a game that looks like a Dreamcast game from Sonic Team back in the
Right.
early 2000s.
Right.
But if it also plays that way, that's the stumbling block. You need responsive control. You need character ability switching that makes sense. You need like level design that doesn't feel like it's just a shoebox, go from point A to point B and find the power up that you need or whatever. Like you need something that feels like you're finding secrets. It's funny that like 3D World plus Bowser's Fury comes out, and as I'm playing Bowser's Fury, I'm like, this is good 3D platform level design. Like it's layered on top of each other. Like the things that you're doing,
Like an onion.
like an onion, exactly. You're peeling back the layers. Like there are 5 cat shines to get
Like
in
a
each
blooming
area,
onion.
but one might be here, and then you have to go
Yeah.
up there. Like it all kind of like
Yeah, you try that stuff.
intertwines, makes a symphony of platforming. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're right, and I think actually like with Galen's Wonderwall, the like the elements are there for that, where especially with the different costumes.
Yeah.
The different costumes suck. The fact that you can't jump sometimes, the fact that you can't attack sometimes is stupid, and the way that the attack on the first costume works is terrible.
Yes.
But like you kind of in as far as the demo went, it felt like, okay, this level is for this costume.
Yeah.
Where what you really wanted was, like you said, more layers where it's like, here's a bit of a, here's a level, here's your objective. Use the tools we've given you to figure out how to get there.
Right.
And there would be multiple ways to do it.
Or
Right?
like
And maybe that's how the game gets. I doubt it.
I don't think
but maybe
so.
that's how the game gets.
The fact that when you
But it
switch
didn't feel like it.
costumes, it basically like freezes you for a second and you have to stop means that you can't like combine things. Like let's say in that first world they had something where you had to use the bunny suit and then also use the wolf suit to like jump first and then switch to the wolf and do an attack to like unlock something. That's the
Yeah, it doesn't
layer.
feel like there's any synergy between those different suits.
No. And
It's
plus
like
when
this
you die
part is
you lose the
specifically
suit.
for this and nothing else.
And when you die wearing a suit you lose it completely.
yeah.
So makes no sense.
So I mean that's the bad part of feeling like a Saturn and I don't even think it's fair to say a Saturn or a Dreamcast game so much as it just feels old.
Right.
It just feels dated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels like not dated like 5 years ago, like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But I mean as far as making something look more like a Saturn game or a Dreamcast game, I think that has everything to do with the look.
Yeah.
I think it's perfectly possible to create something that feels modern but looks like one of those games.
I mean,
we
are getting games now, Shovel Knight, Cyber Shadow, games that look retro that could never have been done on that hardware, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
But they play really well. It's responsive, etc.
And I think with like to make something look like say a Saturn style game, you go with sort of lower resolution textures. You build everything with quads as opposed to triangles.
Yeah.
You could still make it look way better than anything that we possibly
What is
on
that
a Saturn.
sumo
And
digital
like the lighting you
racing
do is
game that just came out recently? You know the one I'm talking about? Was it High Octane Racing or something that had the virtual racing look, the box characters?
Yeah, but that's but that's a good example. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But when you're talking about Saturn, like the way the lighting is done, just things like that,
Yeah.
or you go flat shading that route for like sort of the Model 1 early 90s 3D arcade look.
Yeah.
But I think that would be the way to pay homage to those kinds of games. I don't think you want them to play
No.
like those games.
do not,
While there
right.
were a lot of great games on that system, on all those systems, I think you want them to play as like something modern.
Yeah.
But they can look like that.
Agreed. All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Headcase Games, who says, I've been playing Virtual Boy at last recently. It's a strange, cool little system that doesn't deserve the hate it gets. Do you see any way it could have been popular if it had a legit color screen and was cheaper, for example? Or was it doomed no matter what happened?
I think it was doomed.
Yeah.
I think it was
That's-
doomed. The price point killed it. but
The idea was too ambitious for the tech of the time
yeah,
at the price they needed it to be.
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
cool system, but not like what was it when it came out? $500?
no,
Or
was
maybe
like
it wasn't that
two.
high.
it was,
was
2
high
or
though.
3. Yeah.
I thought it was maybe it was 3. I'm thinking about here, by the way,
Oh,
Canada. But either way, it was really expensive for what it was.
yes.
And
$179.95.
and it was marketed as a portable machine,
Which it
I mean,
wasn't.
technically it was, but not really. Yeah.
Good luck.
I don't think they could have pulled off the thing they wanted to pull off with that and made it good in any way.
Yeah.
At the time.
And just the red graphics,
Yeah.
so fatiguing on the eyes, like just not
And-
great.
I mean, it did the same thing that I think VR suffers from now, and has suffered from as it's become more popular, is that it's a very isolating experience.
Yeah,
And
it's true.
especially where games, even back then, especially in the mid '90s, couch co-op was still the way you played multiplayer games.
Right.
Couch multiplayer, we weren't playing online, not really, on consoles anyway. So you're taking this thing where I'm blocking out the entire world while I'm playing. So not only can I not interact with you, but you can't see what I'm seeing. It really hurt the group experience.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's do this one from hacker alias JRT1138, who says, now that we have a release date, what would you recommend as the must-play games in the Ratchet and Clank series? I'd say definitely play the remake of the first game that came out for PS4.
Yeah, the PS4 one is really damn good.
Yeah, and then in the collection, like Ratchet 2, I think is a lot of fun. But like any of the late stage PS3, there were 2 PS3 games, weren't there?
Tools of Destruction and the Quest for Booty.
The future games.
The future
Yeah,
games,
Ratchet
yeah,
and Clank future games.
Yeah,
The future
the two-
games.
The 2 Ratchet and Clank future
Honestly-
games are both really good.
they
Honestly,
are.
they're worth playing. Probably, what was it? Deadlocked? Is that the combat one?
That was the combat one. The
That's
only
the
arenas.
arena.
the least worth
Yeah,
playing.
do not worry about that one.
Don't worry about that one. Don't go back and play the first one on PS2. Just play the
Play
remake
the collection version.
There was
or the
what
collection
Or
version.
the
all
remake.
all for one. Was that the
That's the arcade style game that came out on PS3. That's terrible.
Yeah. Don't
So
worry
those are the
about
two
that.
you want to avoid. Avoid
Full-
those two.
Full frontal assault is the tower defense one. Don't worry about that one
Don't worry
either.
about that one.
I don't even remember that.
That one was okay.
Oh, really?
Though it was all right.
It's
Yeah.
it's
It was some.
but
But I mean, I feel like we need to point out we're talking about in relation to other Ratchet and Clank games.
right.
This is like us saying a bad Mario game. Like they're all pretty good, but the ones we've mentioned are the least of the group.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank Future, Tools of Destruction, and its sequel, Ratchet and Clank Future: A Crack in Time,
Those are great.
are
Those
both
really
really damn good. And holy crap, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna spoil anything. But Tools of Destruction, the first Ratchet and Clank Future game,
Yeah.
ends on an incredible cliffhanger
Okay.
that blew my mind. Do you remember?
I don't remember it, but I remember loving it.
I don't. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil it in case someone's going to go play it. But it ends on a massive cliffhanger that blew my mind when it happened, and I was, just pins and needles waiting for the sequel to come out, and which was Crack in Time.
Where did Quest for Booty come in there? Because that was downloadable, right?
Quest for Booty. It's
PS3.
it's Ratchet and Clank
One of those two.
Future. It's I think it's in the future timeline.
It is.
But yeah, I think does it take place in between the two games? I'm not exactly sure, but
I think it must.
yeah, it's that's also great. It's kind of a smaller, kind of self-contained little adventure.
Yeah.
Probably similar to like Bowser's Fury in terms
Probably
of
is,
length, right? Like 5 or 6 hours, maybe.
Astrobot. Yeah, it's short, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really good though. But yeah, I would say play at least the 2 main future games and play the PS4 remake
Mm.
of the first game.
Yeah.
If you're going to play any,
It-
and then
yeah.
branch out from there.
But yeah, I still say the original trilogy on the PS2 was quite good.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
There's no reason to play the first one because the remake exists.
Right,
But like, what was the second one? Up Your Arsenal?
Going Commando,
Going Commando.
and then Up
And
Your
then
Arsenal is 3.
Yeah. So those two are quite worth playing as well.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, if I was going to rank them, and this is just me going off my memories of them, I'd play the PS4 game,
Yeah.
play the 2 main feature games,
Yep.
and then go play 2 and 3.
Yeah. That
Sounds
good.
about right.
Yep.
But yeah, such a great series.
Oh
Man, I love Ratchet. I love
So-
Ratchet and Clank.
And then you know what?
So
And you know what?
excited.
After that, if you haven't, go play the Sly Cooper games.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because there's a series
absolutely.
that no one talks about anymore.
I know.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! And the collection
They're
was
great games. Right?
Mwah.
Sly Cooper is fantastic.
Oh, so good.
So good.
Agreed.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias I finally watched, who says, which video game would you like to see turned into a real life game? For example, Rocket League, real cars, giant soccer ball.
I don't want to see that at all.
Like actually, like driving
Like
full size
doing it.
cars around an arena.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Oh,
I don't think that would work as well in non-video game context.
NHL '94.
Among Us.
That is based on a real sport, Phil.
I don't.
Yeah.
Lacrosse.
Oh yeah. I'm not. I don't keep
Make
up on
Among
those
Us a real game.
where someone
The
gets
guy
murdered.
game. Pretty sure that's yearly.
Oh man. Ugh. So would Among Us? Would someone actually have to die?
No.
Okay.
Not something that callous and no.
Oh man.
Just like a Running Man. Just make the Running Man.
Wow.
I don't know.
It's like Battle Royale, right?
Turn into a real. I don't know. What would you turn into a real game? It seems like anything would be too dangerous. I mean, that's
Speedball.
Maybe.
Speedball.
yeah. How about Bill Lambier's combat basketball?
Uniracers.
NFL Blitz.
Yeah.
You erasers.
Why not? What?
NBA Jam, where if a player is doing really, really well, they douse the ball in kerosene,
Yes.
set it on fire, and then the game continues.
I would be down with that.
Yeah.
I am excited about all these ideas.
How about Worms Armageddon?
Where you just have like a bucket full of earthworms and you toss like M80s into it.
All right.
I
Sounds
won.
like fun too.
I
I
won.
think I know some kids who played that when I was younger.
Oh man.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Insipid Ghost, who says, I've heard that old school IGN and GameSpot had serious rivalries. What was it like? Or was it like that at any point with any of your competing magazines? Did you guys,
Oh boy.
regularly read their work? Oh. Well,
Oh, well, I mean, speaking of that, I don't know about you guys, but I regularly read every other magazine when I could.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we all did, right?
It was absolutely. I mean, I did when I was a kid anyway, but working at Ziff,
Mm-hmm.
I read all the magazines we published.
yep.
And I regularly read Die Hard. I regularly read Game Pro.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know, maybe not the PlayStation 2 centric magazines. I didn't read on the regular as much anymore, but it was important to do that. You still had to see what they were covering, especially, because you wanted to see what you missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure that you picked up the ball,
Yeah, I think a lot of the rivalry stuff was more like early EGM and Game Fan. Like that was like, and you could read it in the magazine. They tossed barbs at each other in the magazine. But then, like by the time we were all there, that sort of stopped. And
It stopped on one side.
yeah, we would go on press junkets and meet up with the other magazines, and it was fine. Especially like the Game Informer guys.
Yeah, boy, the
Super
Game Informer guys were always
We had a
great.
bit of a camaraderie because they were awesome people anyway.
Yes.
But I mean, there was a camaraderie there because we were both out in the Midwest.
That's true too. That's true too.
So,
But like
Yeah.
Game Pro as well, like Wes from Game Pro.
Oh man, Wes from
Also
Game
super
Pro.
nice
Really? I mean, I only met him once, but holy crap, he was just the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Just really, really just sweet guy, nice to fun to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't meet a whole lot of like staff writers on other game magazines that I didn't like.
Yeah. Me
Yeah.
neither.
Yeah, it's true.
People from PSM and all that. You'd meet some of the Imagine magazine folks, and they were all great.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
good.
Well, and then I mean, and the other thing too is you consider the state of the video game magazine and eventually website.
Yeah.
That little world. Uh, someone is working at a rival magazine or a rival website one week, and the next week you're working there. Or
Right.
they're working with you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, the concept of the rivalries. Yeah, okay. Back when
We wanted to do better than the other magazines.
Sure.
Of course
Yeah.
you did, and
I mean,
they wanted to do better. Everyone's trying to do the best, but there was. I mean, I know EGM, and this was kind of before any of our time at EGM. They would take a lot of cheap shots at like Game Pro
Absolutely.
and
They
Game Fan. They would
Yeah.
they would hide like secret messages. I remember, wasn't there like a Game Pro sucks message
Yes.
hidden in some
Atari
Yeah.
links,
of
promotional magazine.
hiding stuff like that in EGM.
That-
And that kind of slowed down a bit by the time we were all there. I know Game Fan.
Until you
Yeah.
wrote
Eric?
the a buyer's guide thing where you said hello to Dana in one of the
Yeah. That was my secret message. Was I
message.
wrote a little a Phil. I wrote a Phil loves Dana message hidden in one of the things I did.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, that kind of rivalry died out with the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Certainly. Maybe Game Fan kept it running a little longer
did
than it.
keep it running.
Yeah, they called CJ out by name.
But I mean, honestly, like it wasn't returned,
Well, that's just it.
and
It was
you
definitely one
kind of rolled
side.
your eyes and went, "Yeah, okay, that's their thing," and I guess that means that we're, they see us as a threat. So okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely turned into a one-sided thing,
Yep.
and yeah, because I mean, it was, especially like towards that time, magazines shut down, websites shut down, and yeah, these people who you're like, oh, I hate those EGM guys. Hey, you might be working with those EGM guys in 2 months.
That's
So, why be
I
a
was,
douche about it?
cut yourself off.
I guested on the Play Nation podcast last week.
Yeah.
So I'll link to that in the show notes. But one of the things we talked about was in terms of like competitive marketing of these systems, do we think that the marketing from the 90s, where they were very sort of cutthroat and mentioned the competition, and
Right.
do we think that would work? Do we think that would work in the modern time, or what do we think that might look like? Would it work at all? And I'm like, I don't think it would work. Like, I think it would fall completely flat, even though there is a lot of System Wars stuff on Twitter, and a lot of that stuff kind of feeds off itself on social media. I don't think it would work in an official marketing context anymore.
That stuff is very 90s, early 2000s anyway.
Yeah.
But I think you also take into account that, well, at least two of the big three systems right now are so similar.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you going to say?
What are you going to
Look at our version of Assassin's Creed and look at theirs. It's like, yeah, it's the same. Yep, looks the same.
No, but if we play them side by side and kind of slow down and we zoom in, look at the reflection on this puddle. Only on Sony.
I mean, the differences are not as demonstrable in a 30-second ad. Like,
oh, you think Sony's puddles look great? What about the Xbox's trees? Look at the foliage on that. Much
These
sharper
traffic
on.
Cyberpunk. We've got the better traffic. We can show more
Cyberpunk.
cars per second.
Crash on our system.
Yeah. Look how long you can play through Cyberpunk on our system before it just crashes. We got another 15 minutes of gameplay. Oh boy.
Alrighty. I think that's a good place to stop.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying let's
Whatever you feel is best.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you, Marie. Let me start this again.
There you go.
Alrighty. And that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website, player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward when he gets the time to write one.
I'm still working on that new one. It's taking longer than I expected,
Yeah.
but it's still happening.
All right. You will find Generation 16 episodes as those happen.
Yeah, I got a lot of the script written for the new one this week. Very excited.
Cool. Very cool. And you'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode, including a link to our Discord server as well, where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening device. We're also on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show or watch us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast. Follow our Twitter account, which is @P1 Podcast, to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, it is Sunday nights at 5:30 Pacific time.
Yeah.
And if you like what you've heard, and how could you? You can head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. We appreciate it. How about that?
We sure do.
We do.
We do.
We do.
We appreciate you.
You know, it helps keep the lights on. It doesn't keep our zooming anymore because we're doing this new
We're
Riverside
using the system this time.
We're paying for this?
We are paying for it, yes.
It'll help pay for our Riverside FM, which only occasionally tosses random audio into my ears that no one else can hear.
No.
I still don't know
Did it
what
happen
that was.
times or just the one?
It was just that one time during the Mario discussion.
All right.
I have no idea. I had no other windows open.
Sure.
I'm using wired headphones, so it's not like I'm intercepting some broadcast.
It was Max Headroom talking about Swirsky and
Now you're gonna link to the Max Headroom TV hijacking
yes.
from the Chicagoland area all those years ago. I didn't see it live, but boy, watching the news reports about it scared the hell out of young Phil.
Same here.
It was scary. And they never found the guy who did it.
No,
That's the thing. They never found me. Him.
Wait.
Him. So there we go. But yes, your Patreon funds do, of course, help keep all these little costs of running a podcast going. We obviously appreciate it, and you know what? We give you a little something back for your help. If you are a Patreon subscriber of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode where we play games, crack wise, have fun doing all the things we can't do on the regular show. Because clearly the government is listening to us, and we don't want them finding out about it. Do we have a game or something set up this week? We had a Jeopardy game last week.
We had a Jeopardy game last week. That was a lot of fun.
was.
This week we have another Game Fan review.
Oh boy!
Those are always
Speaking of old video game magazine rivalries, they did not like EGM.
They did not. This will be fun though.
This will be fun. So it's always a hoot playing these games, seeing what we can figure out. We always do poorly on them.
We do.
Yeah. So join us for that, won't you, CJ?
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much
Thank you, Phil.
for everything you do, and of course for secondplayer.net,
Go to it.
your hot new
video game website.
yes.
You can go to it right now.
Can I?
Check out the stuff.
Okay.
That's how video game websites work.
Yeah, some of the things I featured this week. Speaking of Stadia, talked about Google closing their studios, and it was a very interesting little discussion there. See what a Stadia podcast has to say on that.
Oh, nice.
They were optimistic about the future of Stadia, by the way. Old Game Plus is another podcast that I featured. They're a game club podcast that interviewed one of the developers of the original Metroid Prime. Some really interesting information about how they developed that game and turned the Metroid series into 3D. So
I'll tell you what. One of the main reasons why I wasn't too heartbroken about not playing Balan's Wonder Tomb this week is
Wonder Tomb.
I knew if you were gonna give me crap about it, I'd ask you how your progress on Bully was coming along, because we still have that.
Great.
We have that game club.
Great.
You're gonna get that Bully game club in the can. So
Almost done.
okay, good. Please look forward to that in the upcoming decade or two, or never. Let's face it.
Well,
Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you so much as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Thank you for the thank you. Oh, and a happy Valentine's Day to you both.
oh, happy Valentine's Day to you, Phil.
Yes. Today's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I hope you will both be mine. Wow. Derisive sneer.
Unlikely. No.
Man, I feel like I'm back in high school. And of course, thank you to all of our wonderful, wonderful listeners, every single one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to stay safe. Wear your masks. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones, your family, your friends. We hope to see you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, wait, I didn't plug Generation 16. And Greg.
Valentine's Day, no
Valentine's
less.
Day. Hey, guess what?
Greg.
If you have a couple bucks, I got distracted. I went off script and got distracted. If you have a couple bucks left over after you're done throwing money at us,
Yeah.
my goodness, throw all the money at us you want. Head over to Generation-16, where you'll find the Patreon link to help support Cards 2. It's outstanding, and it is outstanding web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
And if you want to support that show to the tune of $5 per episode,
Also cheap.
you go. You get access to the weekly video logs that I like to call the weekly commute, where I stopped recording it in my car because Papa Phil was worried about my safety.
I am.
And
I was more worried about the safety of everyone else on the road.
no, yeah, we're gonna go with me. Where I talk about the creation of the episode, the research that goes into it, and other stuff like updates on the game room and what I've been playing, what I've been reading, different books that I have in my library that I use for research, that sort of thing. It's interesting. It's fun. It's cool. It's $5 an episode. It's like 4 episodes a year. Just do it.
Wow.
Cheap.
Very demanding. Also cheap. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Now we'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Toodle-oodles.
Bye.
I'm going to hit this button, and it's going to
Okay.
upload the rest of
Oh
your...
my gosh.
So
The
don't...
recording started uploading. Do not close this tab until completed.
Oh man.
You can monitor
like
the progress
It's completed.
on the top left circle. Does that mean I can go take a break?
Yeah, we're going to take a break. I'm going to send you a new link for the next one. So we're just
Should we? Okay, don't close
Don't
this
close the
window
tab.
because it's still going. But there's
Is it- in
Huh?
the corner of the screen, it should say whether your recording is uploaded.
It says it's uploaded on mine. It says I can close this browser.
Oh, your recording is uploaded. You can close the browser. Okay, so you're going to send a new.
I'm going to send a new link for the after
Okay.
show.
Okay, so close this browser, and then you'll
I
send
might
a new
not
link.
click on the new link right away.
I'll send you a new link.
Where's my Slack? I think I closed down Slack in my wild shutting everything down because I'm hearing voices.
Shut it all down.
That's really what I was doing.
All
Okay. Okay.
All right, be back.
I'll be back.
Bye-bye.